Good afternoon, children. So, we have come to the end of the second chapter. Hope your concept of the different physical features is very much clear now, as I have shown you the different pictures, the images of different types of physical features that are there in our country. And from the images, you can get a clear idea, clear concept of the different physical features. Now, as we have come to the end of the chapter, we will have to start our question answers. The map work of the chapter is completed, so we will start directly from the objective questions. The multiple choice answer questions, I believe that you can do after going through the chapter very well, after going through the notes very well. So I will start directly with the question answers. Your first question, objective question, that is question number 2. The first question is, what are tectonic plates? Now here, children, tectonic plates are the lithospheric plates. Okay, why lithosphere? Because the other name of the crust is lithosphere. They are also known as lithospheric plates. Now in this question, children, definition is asked. So you will have to write the definition of the tectonic plates. Many times I have found that the children write in this answer that the earth crust is made up of plates, and that much. The earth crust is made up of plate, but it is not a correct answer. So the correct answer should be the definition, because here definition is asked. So let's see what is the correct answer of our tectonic plates. The correct answer is differently sized. Okay, why differently sized? Because all the plates are not of the same size. So differently sized pieces of the crust or lithosphere, differently sized pieces of the crust or lithosphere that floats on asthenosphere. Now asthenosphere is the layer that lies between the mantle and the crust. So this asthenosphere layer is jelly-like. You must have consumed or eaten jam, jelly by this age of yours. So asthenosphere is semi-molten. It is jelly-like. So differently sized pieces of the crust or asthenosphere, differently sized pieces of the crust or lithosphere that floats on asthenosphere is known as tectonic plate. There are both continental and oceanic plates. I am reading again. Differently sized pieces of the crust or lithosphere that floats on asthenosphere is known as tectonic plates. There are both continental and oceanic plates. Our next question is, children, which continents of today were parts of Gondwana land? Now you have already studied before, children, that the entire Pangaea was divided into two parts. Angara land consisted of the continents of northern hemisphere, and the continents of southern hemisphere were mostly the Gondwana land. But as the movements took place and the continents moved over the slippery asthenosphere, so this thing was not maintained. But more or less, now the continents that were part, I am coming to the answer, the continents that were once part of Gondwana land are as follows. The continents that were once part of Gondwana land are as follows. So we will start from the Western Hemisphere, South America, Africa, Antarctica, Australia and parts of Asia. Now this, children, must be very clear to you that you must understand what they are asking. They are not asking the name of country. So you will not simply write India, because there are many other countries of Asia which were once part of this Gondwana land. Like there are many small islands like the Malaysian islands, Indonesian islands, Philippines. They were the parts of Gondwana land, but their names are not written separately in your book. So what you will write is South America, Africa, Antarctica, Australia and parts of Asia. This will be the second answer of the second part. Now children, coming to the third question, that is, what is the Bhabar? Now Bhabar, you all know, is the belt that is very close to the Himalayas and lying at the foothills of the Himalayas. So the answer will be, the Bhabar is a belt of pebbles and gravels just at the foothills of the Himalayas, 8 to 16 kilometer in width, and lies parallel to the slope of Shivalik. I am again repeating the line. The Bhabar is a belt of pebbles and gravels just at the foothills of the Himalayas, 8 to 16 kilometer in width, and lies parallel to the slope of Shivalik. The rivers and streams descending down the Himalayas deposit this material and disappear in this belt. I am reading the answer again. The Bhabar is a belt of pebbles and gravels just at the foothills of the Himalayas, 8 to 16 kilometer in width, and lies parallel to the slope of Shivaliks. The rivers and streams descending down the Himalayas deposit these materials and disappear in this belt. Our next question is, name the three major divisions of Himalayas from north to south. So here, children, we will be mentioning the longitudinal division of the Himalayas, not the division according to river valleys. So the three divisions are Himadri, Himachal and Shivalik. Himadri, Himachal and Shivalik. The next question is, which plateau lies between Aravalli and Vindhyan range? Now children, here in your notes I have informed you, I had given you the notes that there are plateaus named as Madhya Bharat Plateau or Mewar Plateau, Mewar or Marwar Plateau, but because your NCERT book is informing you that only the Malwa Plateau is there, so you will please write the answer that confirms with your NCERT book. So the Malwa Plateau is the main plateau that lies between our Aravalli ranges and the Vindhya range. Because they have given which plateau, they are not mentioning plateaus. So you will write only one plateau. We will not write the name of Central Highland, because Central Highland consists of several plateaus. We will write the name of the major plateau which occupies the largest area, and that is the Malwa Plateau. Our next question is, name the island group of India having coral origin. So Lakshadweep is the answer that forms due to the deposition of the coral polyps. So Lakshadweep is the answer. Let's come to the next group of questions. The next group of questions, that is question number 3, consists of question where we are having differences distinguished between. The first one is the difference between converging and diverging plates. So children, the first thing that you will do is you will draw a line in between. Differences are always written in this way, and the points must always be opposite. You will write opposite points, contrasting points in the answer. So the first one is converging tectonic plate and the diverging tectonic plate. So in the converging tectonic plate, the first point is the plates move towards each other. The plates move towards each other. In case of diverging tectonic plate, the plates move away from each other. The second point is that compressional forces act here. Compressional, C-O-M-P-R-E-S-S-I-O-N-A-L. Compressional forces act here because both the pieces are moving towards each other, or one piece is stationary, the other piece is moving towards each other, and they are forcing the material which is lying between these two to compress. So compressional forces act here, and this side we have tensional forces act here because a single plate is pulled from both the sides. So the force is tension. Like in case of rubber band, children, when we pull a rubber band from both the sides, then it is tension created. So similarly, when we pull a plate from both the sides, a single plate, when it is pulled from both the sides, the force that acts here is tensional force. The third point is it gives rise to fold mountains. Like we have the Himalayas, which is a fold mountain. Similarly, in other parts of the world also, there are fold mountains, like the Rockies is there in the North America. There are Andes mountain in the South America. So in India, we have the Himalayas as the fold mountain. The Aravalli is also a fold mountain, but that is a very, very old fold mountain. So it gives rise to fold mountains and also causes earthquake. And this side we have, it gives rise to block mountains, rift valleys, new oceanic crust, and may also cause volcanic eruption. Now children, this block mountain is formed due to faulting. You have already heard of the word fault because when madam was teaching you, Benti madam, she had showed you how a fault occurs. I have also told you before that generally a fault occurs when a crack occurs in the crust and the side which is weaker, it subsides down. And if this crack occurs on a surface of a crust in two different places, then the portion which is lying in between the two sides, that will come down, that will subside down, and the other two sides will remain in its original position. So this portion which will subside down, which will go down, will have low height and it will form a valley. So it will become a rift valley, and the two sides which is there in its original place, they will be of higher height, so it will form a block mountain. So it gives rise to block mountain, rift valleys, new oceanic crust, because the crust is pulled and here it breaks down. So when it breaks down, it breaks into pieces. Then the new crust that is formed, it is occupied by the water of the ocean or sea, which rushes from the surrounding area, and it forms a oceanic crust and may also cause volcanic eruption because the crust cracks. That's why the molten lava may come out from below and there can be volcanic eruptions. And you all know, children, volcanic eruptions will form volcanic mountains, it will form plateaus if it is in the form of a crack. So anyway, we will write it give rise to block mountains, rift valleys, new oceanic crust, and may also cause volcanic eruptions. Now the fourth point is it forms convergent plate boundary. So the corner, the edges where the plates are meeting, the edges form the convergent plate boundary, and here where the edges are separating, it forms the divergent plate boundary. So children, from the beginning, I am repeating again, the converging tectonic plates and diverging tectonic plates. The plates move towards each other in the first point, and this side the plates move away from each other. The second point in converging plates is compressional forces act here. In this side, tensional forces act here. The third point, it gives rise to fold mountains and also causes earthquake. The third point, this side, that is in diverging tectonic plate, it gives rise to block mountains, rift valleys, new oceanic crust, and also cause volcanic eruptions. The fourth point, it forms convergent plate boundary, and this side it forms the divergent plate boundary. Children, before I further proceed with the question, now for today only we will do this much question answers. I will like to clear some doubt regarding few terms. Now in your book, children, you have come across the term geosyncline. Now what is a geosyncline? The term geosyncline is associated with fold. Now a fold is in this way. It consists of an upper part and it consists of a lower part. The upper part is known as anticline. The upper part is known as anticline, and the lower part, the bottom part, is known as a syncline. Children, this geosyncline has come from this term from the syncline. Geosynclines are thick deposits of sediments. Now if you find a syncline which is having numerous small folds here, numerous small folds. Now why these folds develop here? The folds develop here due to compression, due to push from both the sides. This when a syncline is occupied by folds, numerous folds in this way, it forms a geosyncline. Now this geosyncline is a geosyncline. This forms when there is pressure from both the sides. When there is compression from both the sides, these sediments that has been deposited, they form such numerous small folds, forming a geosyncline. A geosyncline always forms in the marine bed, that is below the level of water, below the level of the sea water, the geosyncline is formed. This is occupied by water. Followed? So below the level of water, there is thick deposits of sediments. The sediments get folded due to the pressure from both the sides, and so this portions which has become such numerous small folds, they rise up when it is compressed to a great extent and they rise up to form the fold mountains. They rise up, the small minute folds, all these folds, they rise up, they stand up, and they form this fold mountain system. So the Himalayas rose up from the geosyncline. This geosyncline was named as Tethys. Thus, this geosyncline from where the Himalayas rose up is known as Tethys. So I think, children, it's clear that what is a geosyncline? A geosyncline is a deep depression occupied by thick sediments. The thick sediments form as a result of deposition by the sea. It will always form under the water of the sea, and the thick sediments get compressed in this way. They form the small folds. Why? Because of pressure from both the side, because of compression from both the side. And when they are further compressed, too much of compression is there, so these folds will rise up to form the fold mountain. They are the fold mountains. So our Himalayas rose up due to compression from both the side. One side there was Eurasian plate, the other side is the Indo-Australian plate, that is our plate. So in this way, children, the geosyncline rose up, the geosyncline which was named as Tethys rose up to form the Himalayas. So children, you all write the answer, take down the notes, you can take down the picture also of the geosyncline, so your concept will be very much clear. Thank you, children. Have a nice day.